everybody, I'm Tim Ward and welcome back to Garden Sense. Well, you folks really kept me busy this past week with all of the emails. I think I'm just about caught up though, so I'm really pleased with that. We can always tell when you guys are getting really active when the weather's starting to get warmed up because those emails come flooding in, especially over the weekend, and this past weekend was no exception. I also know there's a lot of frustration out there regarding the products that we are missing. We're out of stock on Plant Trust, we're out of stock on Gallery, but we're out of stock on other products as well, as you have noticed, and we are working with our suppliers to get those products in our doors. But in the meantime, there are 3 questions that I want to review here with you today, so buckle up everybody and let's jump right in. The first question is from Roger. Tim, I have never seen this weed before. A new entrant to our yard and garden this year. What is it? And what will kill it and keep it from coming back? All right, so this is a very common weed called groundsel, and it's actually pretty easy to control and get rid of. In terms of trying to get rid of it, I would actually recommend that you use Image. It's a really effective weed killer, and it will definitely take care of this. But in terms of preventing it, making sure that it doesn't come back, you're going to want to use Gallery. You can put down Gallery in the spring. You can also put it down in that mid-fall time period, again, to help keep away a lot of those winter weeds and things like that. Groundsel is not a winter weed, but again, it will absolutely help keep any of those groundsel seeds from germinating. So head over to rosensonline.com, pick up a bottle of Image, and once it's back in stock, you can get a bag or 2 of Gallery, and it will really help keep groundsel at bay. The next question is from Karen. Tim, what do I put on my irises to keep aphids off my flowers? We actually get this question a lot because aphids are a problem that many of you deal with year after year. Now, there's 2 ways to approach it. One is to try to keep them away, and to do that, we would recommend a product called neem oil. We talk about it a lot on this program. It's a natural product, and it's really effective in terms of keeping insects away. So that would be the first thing, is to put down multiple applications of neem oil. Now, if that doesn't work, and I'll be honest with you, if you get a lot of rain, sometimes it just won't be effective as other years. Then I would actually try a product called Monterey's Mite and Insect Control. This will actually kill the aphids and drive away the ones that it doesn't kill. Both products work really well. One, again, the neem oil is designed to kind of keep them away, but if they break through that defense, it rains a lot, the product's not as effective, and you actually need to kill the aphids because there's now visual evidence that they're there, I would definitely use the Mite and Insect Control product. It's going to take care of the problem. And again, both products are safe for your plants. The final question for today is from Tim. Tim, I just moved to the Myrtle Beach area of South Carolina. My newly sodded lawn is centipede grass. In Virginia, I had fescue. What products do I use on centipede grass? So compared to fescue, centipede grass is very, very easy maintenance. It doesn't require as much fertilization. You don't have to mow it as often, but obviously, as you know, it's a warm season grass. So let's talk fertilization first. What you want to do is actually use Turf Trust 2 times a year. Put it down in the springtime just after the centipede grass begins to green up. So when you start to see it become green, that's when you go ahead and want to put down some Turf Trust fertilizer. Then you can put down a second application a little bit later in the year, say midsummer or the very end of summer. Again, that's going to give it a little bit of a boost. But again, once the fall hits and the temperatures start to drop as you get closer to winter, you're going to see that grass start to brown up. So again, 2 applications, which is much different from the 4 applications that we recommend for fescue. Now, you said it was newly sodded, so another product I would definitely recommend would be Kickstart. That's really going to help the root system of the centipede grass take hold. So head over to Rosens Online, pick up some Turf Trust, pick up some Kickstart, get the Kickstart down as soon as you can. And frankly, I would use that at least once a month from green up all the way until it starts to go dormant in the fall. Now, in terms of weed control products, we could talk a little bit more about that later in the year. Most of your weed killers are going to be okay for centipede grass, but not all of them are. So if you're battling with a particular weed, reach back out to us and we'll tell you which products you could safely use to kill that weed on that particular type of grass. Again, you can use Gallery, you can use Dimension. Wouldn't use anything yet. Let's really focus on getting that centipede grass established. But again, once the fall hits, assuming you're not going to be doing any overseeding or anything like that, you're definitely going to want to put down some Dimension and Gallery in the fall. All right, everybody, just a couple final thoughts before we wrap up this week's video podcast. Folks, as I mentioned at the top of the program, we know that we're out of several products that you folks are looking for. We're working on it. I know Plant Trust is really important this time of year. We're trying to get some of it manufactured and delivered to us. But again, Pro Trust is working hard to make that happen. So it'll get here when it gets here. In terms of some of the other products, we have some weed killers, some disease control, Gallery, things like that. Folks, there are just some supply chain issues that we're working through, and so as soon as we can get it in, we will bring it in. Some of those products are back ordered. Some they're telling us will arrive this week, so we just got to, kind of keep an eye on things. If there's a particular product that you're looking for, you can obviously reach out to me and ask, and I can try to let you know when it's going to be here. Now, in terms of what you need to do right now, we've got plenty of Turf Trust fertilizer, and you need to make sure that if you haven't already done so, you are fertilizing your lawn. So head over to Rosen's Online and pick up some Turf Trust fertilizer. You really need to feed your lawn. Again, if you did it in that mid-March timeframe, you're good until June. But if you haven't done it yet, it's not too late. Make sure you pick up a few bags and put it down right now. It's also the time of year where you need to get Dimension down. This is where it's going to be really, really effective. So if you haven't done so, order some Dimension when you order your Turf Trust fertilizers and make sure that you get that down. That's really going to help prevent a lot of those grassy weeds, especially something like a crabgrass. It's also going to help a little bit with some of the broadleaf weeds. I know we've had some questions about that in the past because we're out of Gallery. Dimension is a great backup for broadleaf weeds. Doesn't cover as much as Gallery, but it still does a pretty effective job. We'd recommend that as a substitute. And of course, we always mention Kickstart. We already talked about it with the last question, but it's a very effective product for your lawns, for your gardens, trees, shrubs. We know that, believe it or not, May is going to be here before you know it, and that's when a lot of you start to get your gardens put in. So again, make sure you use Kickstart anytime you're planting anything, whether you're putting in flowers, you're putting in new trees, new shrubs, or you just want to make sure that those existing plants have a really healthy root structure. Kickstart is the product that you want to use. Folks, as always, make sure that you send your questions directly to me, tim@rosensonline.com, and based on the volume of emails that I've been getting from you, it doesn't seem like you guys are having any issues in sending me emails. Folks, as always, we really appreciate the time that you've spent with us today. It does mean a lot. I hope all of you have an amazing rest of the week. God bless.